take it a little slower. I'm taking a break.
I'm a different kind of cop.
I don't wanna do your dirty work no more.
We're here. We are live. 4 more episodes, counting this. Then we're done. And then we're ready for our next one. We will have Succession, True Detective, and The Leftovers. Starting. This is Matt's job, not me. I'm not supposed to yawn. We will have that soon. Right following after this. Don't know the exact thing. Bear with me, by the way. You might be watching this. You probably already picked it up. YouTube has been a fickle bitch with this series. I've scheduled it. Some have debuted right away. Some people, they haven't. I created a playlist on Multiplex, our YouTube, that has all of our episodes up to date live. So easier way to find them. They'll all be in there. You can watch them as they go. Yeah, so we're here. We're almost to the end. Just want to get this off my chest. I'm really worried about Sopranos. It feels like we have no fucking direction.
And how many episodes left?
I know. I'm only here for a week, and I watched this too, and I was like, why? Why are we doing the shit that we're doing? So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be weird. I'm hoping it sticks to landing. I would say literally 2 of these shows I'm kind of with. Well, Matt says only one of them believes it. I don't honestly think all 3 of them are heading towards a series finale. None of them feel like we're like ending. All of these feel like, hey, we'll be back next season. We know the truth. They're not. So can you start closing some timelines? But with that being said, Mr. Mark Menchaca, how are you? And how was your viewing experience?
I'm doing good. You bring up some, points about, these episodes. I will say, for my particular show, this is the first half of their last season. So they knew we were getting more episodes later on. I cannot speak to the Sopranos. They knew it was going to be their final 9, and this is how we're doing it. So, yeah.
I saw a kid in the shower do an unthinkable act, and we're near the end. I'm really surprised. It's no shocker. The showrunner is doing the same thing the kid did. Matt, how are you? How was your viewing experience?
I'm doing good. I got a little sad watching the little intro because I was like, I only get to see Tony singing about doing dirty work like 3 more times, and then we're going to be moving on to other things. It's kind of setting in now that we're almost crossing the finish line of another set of shows. But there's some stuff this week. Like you said, Sopranos. It's just like it's doing stuff. I don't know what or why, but it's doing stuff.
Hard to say. I'm at this point now, like, Sopranos should just be going first on this show. Like, why race to the end of it?
I will tell you why Sopranos is last when we get to the series finale, because that is going to be an interesting conversation.
Oh,
yeah. I heard. I just showed me it 7,000 times from Sunday. And I've muted the word Sopranos on Twitter or X, however you refer to it, because apparently sometimes those clips show up for some god. Well, I know. So it should be fun. Yeah, we're almost to the end of this. Like I said, we won't take a break. The audience will take a break between the break because we're going to push it to over the winter, so we can film and not get caught up to live. So that's really great. Yeah, but we're going to kick it off with The Shield, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Correctly.
So we have made it up to episode 4 of season 7, Genocide.
Technical foul.
So we start off with Vic and Corrine talking to Cassidy about, stuff is not going well still. But Vic gets called away. Apparently, one of Rizian's safe houses was burned down with 2 of his guys inside. So that happens. But it's not all bad news because today also happens to be the day of the a march observing the Armenian genocide. So I guess that's celebratory, not celebratory. I don't know, but it's happening.
Hell yeah.
So Resident wants to have a sit down with the Mexicans, is trying to get all this stuff over with. Vic tells Cruz about it, so they're going to try to set something up. So Cruz wants Resident to give him the blackmail box back. Agent Olivia meets with Vic, and he asks her for some help getting information on Cruz's number 2 guy, Rios. But, she isn't able to really get him any information, so she was not helpful at all. Julian, on the other hand, who is still on this show and still in the strike team, is able to get information on Rios that helps them out. Except it doesn't really, because it brings them the address, and they need to, Vic and Ronnie kind of sneak around the back and sneak the guy out before Julian and Shane bust in there to try to get him. So once again, Julian just up to no good. The meeting does happen, though, although Resident tells the guy that he doesn't have the box and he wants to prove that they never took it. So meeting not so great, and Cruz is now starting to question the intel that Vic is giving him. Meanwhile, Dutch and Billings, the dynamic duo, get assigned to a case of a teenager, Lloyd Denton, who shot and killed a burglar who broke into his apartment. Lloyd tells them that the victim is a kid from his high school. But Dutch's radar is going off a little bit. He thinks something feels a little off about this case. They talked to the victim's friend, who said that he was in need of a bunch of cash. And apparently he was under the impression that there was a whole bunch of cash in this guy's apartment. That's why he broke in. Dutch tells Billings he suspects that the kid is on the path to becoming a serial killer. So, yeah, typical Dutch stuff.
Well, Dutch, I thought that about you too, and apparently I was wrong, so don't listen to your instincts. Okay?
We still got some episodes left. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah, you're right. Who knows?
So Dutch tries to talk to the mom while Billings looks around the apartment, doesn't find anything. They take Lloyd back to the barn, and Dutch continues questioning him, but Lloyd doesn't give him any information. So pretty much they're just going to have to kind of let this one go. Billings tells Dutch that they will never know what happened, and to which Dutch responds, not until victim number 2. Cassidy, meanwhile, she goes and visits Danny, trying to see her baby brother, and asks about Vic. Danny gets super uncomfortable, which, I mean, yeah, and wants her to leave. She ends up calling Corinne to come and take her home. So then later in the episode, Danny visits Vic with some paperwork for him to waive his parental rights to her baby, which he's not so keen on that idea.
It's her baby. It's his baby?
Yeah.
What? When did that come?
Not once he signs this paperwork.
True.
But yeah, he doesn't really want to sign the paperwork, because I think he's looking at this baby as like maybe his do-over. He might be in the need of one.
I mean, when's he going to get going on that?
It's pretty much the same way he treated his kids, whereas like the job is number 1. Vic visits Aceveda, asking him for help to secure a victory for the Armenians. Aceveda tells Vic about the city controller who can release funds for an Armenian memorial, who just happens to have a file in the blackmail box. So he gives that to Vic, and Vic has Ronnie kind of call the guy and press him. So the city controller is going to help out with this Armenian memorial. Cruz meets with Vic to talk about the Armenian memorial, which in his mind proves that Rizian must have the blackmail box if he's able to get that done. So at the Armenian march, the strike team is kind of all throughout the crowd, keeping an eye on Rizian and kind of just trying to make sure nothing goes down. That is until someone from the crowd starts shooting and kills the city controller right in front of Aceveda.
I love that he looks around and then all of he's big. I'm like, you stupid asshole.
Yes, it's you. I don't know how, but this is you.
Well, yeah, everybody's got to think that. Like, why the hell are you there? Like, idiot.
Vic confronts Cruz for trying to send Resnian a message by assassinating the city controller. Then Vic has to go and calm down Aceveda, and says he's going to get the Olivia to kind of help calm things down and sort all this out. So he tells him about Olivia and how she's been helping. Ronnie and Julian catch the arsonists from the beginning of the episode, so I guess they were looking for them this whole time. They catch them, bring them in. Shane talks with Resnian, and he tells Shane that if he can find the box and end this war with the Mexicans, he will release Shane and Vic from their debts. And then we have, I think it's fair. And then we end the episode with Aceveda talking to Vic and telling him that Olivia is in the blackmail box and inside Cruz's pocket. And he kind of asks what Vic's been telling her, and Vic tells him that he's told her enough to get both of them killed.
That's the best line of the show. How much did you tell him? Enough to get both killed. Jeez, good job, Vic.
Yeah, so it's kind of just setting some stuff up in this episode.
Doesn't he have a terrible track record with blondes in this show?
He has a terrible track record with women in this show.
That's true, but man, he just doesn't. He knows how to put his foot right in it. You were done with the episode, right?
Yeah.
I mean, again, this is my whole point. Like, I understand where they're hinting at going.
Mm-hmm.
Can you make it more interesting on why you're going there? Because it doesn't feel like stakes. Like, even that last line felt like a shoehorned like cliffhanger. But guess what? That cliffhanger, not really resolved. And like, not really, like, there's that moment that happens the third episode of what we're going to talk about tonight. Mm-hmm. But even then doesn't feel weighted. Like, I'm you did this. Yeah. You did this. Untinted, unprovoked, unanything. You put this in the same breath of Breaking Bad.
I said the series finale.
I know you did. But you realize Ozymandias was before the season finale, which was a great lead up to the season finale. I need an episode to make me care.
We got some stuff coming down.
I think it's a fine episode. I don't love the episode. I don't hate the episode. Does Vic talk to the mom in this episode, or is that next episode?
I mean, he talks to her a little bit in all the episodes, but yeah, I think the stuff you're talking about comes later on.
Just a little weird, okay, buddy? If you possibly think the child's a serial killer, don't try to bang his mom. That's what it feels like for everybody watching. I just want that on the record.
I mean, Dutch has that problem. He likes trying to bang women, so
yeah, that have no interest in him. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, but it was okay episode. Nothing to write home about.
I mean,
I like it.
I disagree slightly. Like, I mean, I like what's going on, but it does feel like we're taking a little bit of time to get there. Like, I feel like I know what
are you disagreeing about?
I don't know. I just feel like
we said the same thing.
I don't know. It sounded a little.
You're just more passionate about it than Marcus. So,
I mean,
it comes from my neck and doesn't have anything to back up.
It sounded different in my head. I mean, yeah, like we see the things bubbling. I know what we're doing here, and like I do like Vic just kind of fucking with these guys. I do think that makes it like for some good television. It just, at least that part of it, doesn't feel finale-ish. Like, then that's, ultimately the issue. And we're starting to get like halfway in the season. Like,
the actors knew that this was final season, correct?
Yes.
Like, there was no like, oh, we're canceling the off season. Like, they know.
No, they were told that. Like, they knew this was the final one going.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Because I know how some of those shows work. I just want to make sure they have it. I guess since you say it's a really great series finale, they have to put a pretty good bow on it. So that makes sense.
So we'll see. Okay. But yeah. All right, so that's going to bring us to episode 5, Game Face.
What a terrible.
So Vic and Ronnie talk about Olivia. He kind of fills them in about it. Vic thinks that maybe Olivia is trying to get out from under Cruz's control. So, he might want to help her. So we'll see. Vic tells Azaveda that he's going to handle her and he's going to take care of everything. Meanwhile, Shane wants them to give the box back to Resnian so he can get out from under the Armenians. He thinks let's just do that so we can get out from that. Olivia comes to the barn. She needs some help from the strike team to find a bad guy's missing daughter so that he can focus on his illegal business because they're trying to trap him in some sort of sting operation. But his daughter's been kidnapped, and that's kind of being a distraction. Shane thinks that maybe Olivia is setting them up with some sketchy case, but Vic tells Shane that he needs to put Cruz away so they can live with himself. So that's kind of why he's doing all this, kind of put some stuff in the good karma for him. The strike team, they're on the case. They go to some chop shops. They follow the leads on the kidnappings. They find out that there's some other people looking for the girl too, and they've been going around torturing some people, killing some people, trying to find her. Shane and Vic go and visit Dina, only to get shot at, but they end up bursting through the door. They find her with her partner has been killed. She gives them the info on who might be involved in the carjacking/kidnapping. And following up her lead, they bring in some gang members to kind of help with the sting operation. So they put Julian kind of undercover with these guys to kind of go in there like they're going to rob the place. Julian goes and he finds the girl and gets her out to safety, and she can run away. Danny picks her up. And then the strike team moves in and arrests the kidnappers. So that's kind of tying that up a little bit. Meanwhile, Claudette is kind of mad at Dutch because he's been kind of trying to keep some of the more stressful stuff away from her. Part of that is Cleavon Gardner is coming in. Apparently, he's defending himself, and so he needs to ask, examine Claudette, ask her some questions and stuff.
Deposition.
There you go. Deposition. That's the word I was looking for. During the deposition, Cleavon shows her that he has her prescription bottle, and it's going into evidence. Dutch asks the DA to kind of shut it down, but she can't. Cleavon keeps pushing her, Claudette, about the side effects of the medication, and maybe it kind of affected her actions during his case. He tells her that when she lied to him about his sister being murdered, it kind of made him say all sorts of crazy stuff. How can we know that was the truth? So pretty much they know they're in some trouble here. They end up making a deal with the guy. The DA cuts a deal to take the death penalty off the table because he knows he's not going to get out of it completely. He just wants the death penalty off the table. So
he wants to get married.
yeah, he's got a girl who's kind of writing him and stuff now. So, hey, Corrine talks with Vic and tells him that Cassidy has been suspended from school for attending a Pimps and Hoes party, and that she did ecstasy. Vic says, "I'll look into it." Dutch gets a professional to talk to Lloyd. I think it's a guy from like a previous season who helped him with another serial killer to kind of just try to confirm his feelings one way or the other. The guy tells Dutch that something is off about the kid, but he can't confirm that the kid's like a budding serial killer. So then Dutch goes to the next best thing. He asks Cleavon to kind of observe Lloyd's video. And he tells Dutch that, I recognize that look on the kid's face. And Dutch's like, where do you recognize that look? He's like, I see it in the mirror all the time. So Cleavon thinks that Dutch is onto something about that. And that's enough for Dutch to keep pursuing it. So Dutch visits Lloyd and tells him he knows what he did, and he's not going to let it happen again. Meanwhile, Vic hauls in one of the high school kids from the Pimps and Hoes party and kind of threatens him a little bit and gets his dad to kind of tell him to tell the cop everything you know. And he tells Vic that Cassidy planned the party and supplied the drugs. So, yeah, fun. Vic tells Corinne that he's going to take care of it. Meanwhile, Shane talks to Ronnie and tells him that Vic is going to get them all put in jail if he keeps going after Cruz, which Ronnie immediately goes and then tells Vic what Shane said. And Vic tells him that Aceveda has the box. That's why he can't just give it to him to kind of take that deal from Resnian. Claudette tells Danny that she is sick, but she isn't done yet. She's still got a lot to do. So she asks Danny to kind of work with her to back her up. And she tells her all about the lupus. Vic tells Danny he isn't going to sign the paperwork to waive his parental rights. And then towards the end of the episode there, we get Olivia coming home after a hard day at work when Vic emerges from the shadows with a gun in her house. She tells him about how she kind of got tied up into the blackmail box because she had to save her brother from some trouble he was in. And how they used her to arrange safe passage across the border for the guys who have been helping Cruz do his dirty work, the various killings and such. She tells him that she hasn't said anything to Cruz about Vic in order to protect him, but she can't get herself out of the situation. And Vic says, "I'll help you." And that's kind of how we end this episode.
Sure you will, pal. I don't know how many people you've actually helped in your career. Once you get out of things, actually.
He's helped a lot of people. Like it was like Glenn Close.
Yeah,
she lost her job.
Like he I think he did a couple solids to Aceveda at some point.
He's helped Carl Weathers like twice now.
Yeah, him. That guy. He was
while
like,
doing illegal shit.
Help out with.
He helped that one guy get off to Mexico at the end of the first season. It's not his fault he came back.
I hate both of you. I like the Claudette stuff.
Yeah.
When he pulled that thing out, he's like, "You son of a bitch. I'm gonna read the paper when you die." And then I did love when she's like, "We'll take death penalty off the thing. I hope somebody stabs you in the throat and makes you bleed out." Yeah, I thought it was a jaw-dropping moment. I thought that was the best part of the episode. The Pimps and Hoes thing, the Cassie's going bad. We thought autism was the worst thing to hit this family. Apparently, a teenage girl was the worst thing to hit this family.
The kid without the autism, who knew?
The Pimps and Hoe party is like got to be the most 2008. Is this when this came out? 2008.
Like 07, 08, yeah.
Yeah, ever heard.
So you just don't have those in high school?
Yeah, like what the crap. Playing enough Grand Theft Auto and so this is Scooby. But overall, the rest of the stuff, like the gun at the end and like her being able to like talk her way into to explain what the situation is, that loses interest. Like they're just pulling this. Like I trust that they're going to go to a direction that makes sense. But like I was like, when last episode, how much have you told her? Enough to get us both killed. Oh, she's actually she'll be an ally. Like what? Like you set the groundwork for intense, but guess what? All the tension from the last episode to make you click on the next episode deflates by the end of this episode, which is fine that they want to do that, but it's just like, why make those lines half-ass? Like it's the exact same thing that happened with Shane. If I see you around, I will kill you. Next episode, they're in the barn together. What? Why do you say the things that you're saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So, that's just my opinion. That's the only problem I have right now.
Fair.
Oh, no. I like
Can't remember her fucking name. I'm trying to look up her dumb name. I keep wanting to call her Andrea. Like, what I'm talking
Olivia,
about. Yeah. Like, I like the direction, at least with the Vic and the army. I do like that. I am I am struggling at this point to see why we brought in a guest star role in this last season. Like what role is she really? Honestly, that just kind of bugs me in general when shows do this and they bring on like a new character like in the final season of a show and like, okay, this is what they're doing, this is who they are. And like, I don't know why you're introducing them to me. Like, I don't know who this person is. I don't really care
Who's the
about this
guest
person
star?
is. Well, for the guest
The
spot for
ice
the
agent,
season. Yeah, like again, can't remember her name. Andrea, like,
Agent Olivia,
yeah. I
Sorry.
I see every time I see her, it's like, oh, Andrea from The Walking Dead. Okay, like that's all I
Oh,
see.
that is her.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know I just don't know what the point of her character is. Like what is the reason for her being here? How is this going to relate to Vic in any way? Is this going to enhance Vic's character?
Well,
Like I don't like.
in my opinion, it's going to be the middleman getting him close to the situation. In my thoughts, because she's going to have to be covering for safe. The whole conversation is safe passage. I believe Vic's going to intercept the safe passage. That's my only thought process to clear everything and be done. If that's the direction I think we're going, I have no evidence to prove that, but that's what it sounds like. I just don't know why the writers would put safe passage in there so many times.
Well, the safe passage thing has already been done because that was her job was to get the guys
but
in.
In the very next episode, they asked for another safe passage.
Yeah, true.
So like, it's 2 and 2.
I mean, story wise, sure. I just don't really. I feel like if we're gonna introduce, like, especially when it's somebody who we know to have like a, a crooked past, like they've kind of done things to skirt the law. That feels like you're trying to kind of use her as a way to kind of look at Vic in a different light, and I don't really feel like they're doing that.
I can't say anything because I know where that's going. Oh yeah, so that'll bring us to episode 6. Animal control. So we start out the episode Tina responding to a store security alarm when she finds a bloody naked man in the alley. Dutch questions him and he says that he can't remember anything from the last night. He has been arrested before for running around naked. Apparently he has a sleepwalking condition, but he's worried that he may have hurt somebody this time. And of course, Dutch thinks he's making up the sleepwalking thing to cover up his crimes because Dutch is just full on. Everyone's a horrible person now. The secretly serial killers and shit. So Claudette goes in there. He talks to the guy, and he tells her that he is having some problems in his head, especially when it comes to women and what he wants to do to them. So that kind of supports Dutch's theory a little bit. And they do eventually find a female's body a few miles away from where they found him. Claudette's still a little unsure because it's like a few miles away, but Dutch is like, oh yeah, he did that, then just drove a few miles away so he can plan his alibi and stuff. But Claudette, so she's still going to kind of pursue it. She asks him if he recognizes the lady in the picture, and at that point he asks for a lawyer. So maybe not the best.
What? He did what?
He actually asked for a lawyer.
Okay.
That's not something a guilty person does.
Bring out the phone book. Bring out the phone book. We got another one.
And then a little bit later, Tina does come to Dutch. Is like, hey, we got you. The blood finally came back, and it matches a woman who says that she ran into this guy the night before after she fell and busted her head open on the curb. But she freaked out because he's a naked guy and ran off. So Claudia's like, well, I guess he's clear. Let me go let him know the good news. She goes to talk to him, but the interrogation room has been barricaded from the inside. And she does finally get some people to help her push it open. And she finds that the guy had killed himself in the interrogation room. So I guess, I guess they went a little bit hard on him in the interrogation room there. So, sucks for that guy.
Well, they put him. He died. He killed himself, right?
Yeah, he killed himself. Yeah.
Because Dutch put him in the Is that the last of him?
The
Or
guy,
does
it
get
seems
revealed?
like the guy wasn't all there mentally, and just they pushed him too hard and made him
But
think that he
do
killed
it,
somebody.
right? Or he didn't kill that person, or did
No, he didn't kill anybody. No, yeah.
Yeah, and Dutch drove it home into his head,
Yeah.
and he ended up off of himself. Like Dutch,
Yeah.
like he thinks he's so good at predicting serial killers. He had no fucking clue.
Yeah, so Dutch kind of has a heart-to-heart with Billings and tells him, better or for worse, you're my partner, and I need you to challenge my theories like Claudette used to do. Because, without that, I'm just going to spin off and all sorts of stuff, and this is the kind of thing that's going to happen. So Billings says, yeah, okay, I'll try to be better, but we'll see.
Didn't he last say that he will not whatever the zero is, he'll start. That's what he's going to start doing. So you're asking
that
a little
was
bit.
A couple
much.
episodes ago, he sees that Dutch might need a little bit more help than that if he doesn't want anything.
But he's like, you called the Billingsley. I'm doing shit.
I mean, that was before Dutch kind of blamed him for this murder. Like, I mean, like I don't know. Maybe he's like, well, I guess I don't want to be blamed for any more killing. I guess
yeah, if you would have challenged me, this guy wouldn't have killed himself. So. Acevedo tells Vic he thinks it's time to turn in the blackmail box to justice. It's getting out of control. Vic's like, I just need a little bit more time. And Acevedo's like, fine, I'm going to give you 36 more hours to kind of do what you got to do. But then I'm turning the box in. So Vic tells Ronnie he has come up with a plan to tie up all their loose ends, including killing Shane in a way that it won't lead back to them. So Vic asks Shane to set up Resnian in order to buy the box back so he can give it to Cruz. So that way they can kind of get a little extra money out of this whole situation. And what do you know? Tavon is back. He walks into the barn here, meets with the strike team, makes a couple jokes at Julian. He says that he needs to chat with Shane and Claudette about a Gary Barba, who is a suspect from Shane's past, who is back on the scene. Tavon apologizes to Shane for hitting Mara, and Shane says it's all in the past. It's good. So Shane tells Vic that he's going to need to go back and forth on this case so he can help out with Barba. Vic meets with Cruz and tells them that the Armenians are meeting tonight. Meanwhile, Shane talks to Barba's daughter, Camellia, and tells her that he's going to protect her so that she can help them put her father behind bars. Vic goes to see Corinne. She's been taking some pills to help her sleep. Apparently, she's been having a rough go with things lately. Vic gives her a hard time about taking sleeping pills. Then later, she ends up visiting Vic, and she gives him the pills. And she asks him not to try to take the kids away from her, which he says he wouldn't do that, which we know he definitely would, but you know. Vic and Shane go and see Resnian. They tell him that they found out who took the box, and they're willing to sell it to him for $100,000 tonight. And Shane says that he'll be there with him to kind of set Resnian's mind at ease about the buy, make sure everything runs smoothly. Which Vic was very happy when Shane volunteered for that, so he didn't have to convince that situation to happen. Claudette gives Ronnie a hard time for not managing Vic well, and kind of gives him a write-up in his record and warns him that he might not have a job much longer if he keeps up going down this path. Vic tells Ronnie the plan is working and Shane will be there tonight, and then they will be free of him and everything else. Vic tells Rios about the meeting with the Armenians tonight, and tells him it might be best to just kill everybody there. Olivia tells Vic that Rios has been put on a federal watch list, which means that they could have been surveilling him this whole time. So there might be photos of him talking with Vic, but Vic still just wants to go through with his plan. He thinks it's worth the risks, and he warns Cruz that Rios has been compromised so that he doesn't use him tonight. Meanwhile, Tavon and Shane are using Camille as bait to get her father. Tavon's still kind of talking to Shane. He kind of wants to ask him what happened that night, but Shane doesn't really want to talk about it. They are able to arrest Barba, though, so that's good. They get that guy behind bars so the girl's safe. Vic updates Shane while we see Ronnie tampering with Shane's gun. Tavon asks Shane if he can talk to Mara to kind of apologize, but Shane's like, "Nah, I'd really rather not. Let's just let that lie in the past." And then he's like, "Yo, Shane, I know I didn't hit her. That did not happen, and you know it too." So yeah, but he kind of just leaves after that. He doesn't really pursue that too much more.
One, I think it's so stupid that he showed back up all this time later. I think it's really dumb to close that one loophole. Thanks so much. But man, can you just help me? Can I talk to her? Blah, blah. And I was like, when he said that, I was like, oh, he knows. He fucking knows that he didn't do it. And then when he gets to Shane, he goes, yeah, I can think about everything on that night, except the part that I didn't fucking hit her. Like, he just was like, I was like, yeah, beat his ass. Because I'm so done with Shane already. Like,
he should have at least like punched Shane or something. But
yeah. And hey, by the way, he also dropped a grenade in Lynn's lap. Beat his ass for that too. It just felt weird, but like also very satisfying.
Yeah. I think he just wanted some closure. He just wanted to let Shane know that he knows, and like, hey, yeah. So Shane tells Vic and Ronnie that when this is all said and done, maybe it'd be best if he just transfers out if they want him to. They'll just kind of end everything. But Vic says, no, we're good. It's all good. So then their meet is about to happen. Vic starts kind of having some second thoughts. You're like, maybe I'm not as bad as Shane. Maybe I don't want to do this. But he tells Ronnie that he wants to kind of pull Shane out of there, but Ronnie has no time for that. Ronnie's like, we're sticking to the plan. Shane's got to go. Mara calls Shane and he answers. She pretty much asking him to pick up some medicine on the way home, but Resnian gets mad and tells him to put the phone away. Resnian takes the phone. So now Vic's trying to call Shane. He can't get a hold of him. Vic wants to go check on Shane, but Ronnie's like, oh, I don't know what the address is. And so he doesn't really seem interested in helping, and Julian isn't really all interested to go help Shane either, even though he doesn't really know what's going on. So Shane kind of gets bored. He goes out and takes a look around, and he sees a couple of Cruz's hitmen approach the meeting spot. He's able to take cover while they go in there and kill Resnian and his men. He pulls his gun and tries to shoot them, but his gun doesn't work. The shooting comes over the radio, and Vic and the guys head over that way. They get there, they see all the bodies, but they don't see Shane. Vic tries to call him again, and you hear the phone as Shane is walking in. And then we cut to Shane going home, giving Mara a nice big hug, and telling her that he has $100,000 for them that they need to hide. And that Vic and Ronnie tried to kill him. And he says the worst part of it is they think he's too stupid to even realize it. And that's kind of the end of this episode. So the Armenian threat is gone now.
I about shit my pants when Vic pulled out that phone and started calling and thinking the Armenian guy still had his phone from where it was there. I was like, you're putting Shane at the freaking, like, what is it? But then he can say that he didn't want that Shane did try to get him killed, and that is true. But he did change his mind, and he tried to stop it. So, yeah. But man, I wish Shane died. I really wish Shane died. I feel like Dewey caught the wrong kid died, like the wrong person. Like, I'd rather the Armenians still be around and Shane be dead. I don't know. Just my thoughts. But yeah, what a perfect time. Hey, I want to go for a walk. Just fucking blows them away.
I'm going to go scope out, make sure everything's clear out there.
Yeah, I got this. It's such a sound. They're all dead, but man, that looks like Shane just like literally set them up, but Shane had no idea what was coming. But it's a better episode. This was a better episode though.
Oh yeah. It wraps some stuff up. Moved some stuff along.
I think a bad thing and a good thing here. The bad thing, honestly, is Tavon. Because honestly, I think Tavon represents probably one of the bigger missed opportunities I think this show had, especially like in those early episodes where he kind of seemed, he he seemed down for the dirt, like
Mhm.
like back then, and like I remember thinking like, oh, they because or at least I don't think so. Like because the show never really tried to like to try to like bring somebody else into the team. It was always
Mhm.
just these four guys. And Tavon honestly is probably the closest guy they probably could have brought in because he's the only one who really seemed like he would be somewhat fine with coloring outside the lines. So just kind of bring him back to say like, hey, I know I didn't beat Mara. Like, what? Okay, whatever, man. Like,
Yeah, if Shane hadn't been racist, he could have been a great member of the team.
yeah, I just like okay, this is maybe this season should have been 10 episodes because this feels like a side storyline that would have been cut because we didn't have the time. But like whatever. Um, but yeah, like that I think we are 100% getting to that spot because now we are into inner strike team turmoil. The show has always really been at its best when we kind of get into that when like a little like the main team is at odds, and
Mhm.
if we the craziest shit also seems to happen in the show when Shane has his back against the wall and
Mhm.
he doesn't really know what to do and he's just kind of like he's just like hip firing a machine gun and
It's like, what
like
would Vic do?
yeah like that the best stuff always happens so I'm really looking forward to what happens after this episode because like Shane it feels like he's on the way to do something really really dumb.
No, what? Listen, for you to throw that accusation out there about our good buddy Shane is irresponsible as fuck.
Our good buddy Christ fearing Shane.
God, if Jesus didn't go on that cross, fucking Shane wouldn't.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, well, let's go to happier times, I guess.
I guess that's the way to put it. I mean, not for some of these characters.
I mean, I don't think Don's in line for bad guy of the week.
Oh,
Sure as fuck is happy guy of the week. I'll tell you that much right now. Hoo-ha!
yeah, we'll get to that. We gotta wait a little bit for that. Let's go as jumping first as episode 4, season 7, the Monolith. Um,
That's the
started out.
most Mad Men title I've ever seen. The Monolith.
Honestly, I think it worked. Honestly, I think it worked better for the next. Whatever. I think this title worked better for the next episode, but yeah, whatever. My opinion,
Yeah.
humble guy's opinion. Anyway, Pete sees an old colleague at dinner, and that's when he gets in like this guy like who used to work at Vic's Chemical and now he works at Burger Chef, kind of giving him an into Burger Chef. So Pete now is bringing in some new business. Also, kind of weirdly learned about a heart attack his father-in-law had. Kind of throws him off a bit. We then see Don, or what seemingly is kind of one of his first days, kind of back to work, just being a regular Joe, and comes into the news that the company is now building a computer. So now Harry won't have to lie to all the clients anymore that they have a computer. They'll actually have one, and apparently it's going to be put in their creative lounge. So the creative's going to be losing their lounge, and everybody's upset about that. Ginsburg wanted to keep a couch, and couldn't keep the couch. And like there's the whole thing.
Lift! It won't fit the office. Don't tell me it won't fit the office. I want the couch. Yeah, we haven't even tried.
It's like The Wire when they were all trying to get that desk through the door.
Oh my god, I was laughing so hard. That's all he wanted. First it's the lounge, then it's our jobs.
Listen, Ginsburg has always been a big picture guy. Like he knows what's coming down the
He
pipe.
knows what's coming. He definitely does.
Then see the partners talk about the Burger Chef thing that Pete brought in, and Pete really wants Don to be put on it, and they reluctantly agree on it, or but ultimately they decide to give it to Peggy. Peggy's going to be the one leading up on it. Lou doesn't feel like that great on it. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna let Don and Peggy handle this," and like Jim is like, "Whatever, like just give it to them. They fuck it up. Who cares?" Like so Just kind of wanted to see what's up. Roger then gets a visit from his ex-wife and son-in-law, and apparently his daughter has went and joined a commune. She left with some hippies, and Roger is like, well, she's around 25. People will do that. Then we get into Peggy. She then has a meeting to talk about Burger Chef with Don and Mathis. And Don, Peggy might as well have been telling Don, "Hey, I want you to give me one of your children, and then I want you to pay me $1,000 after you do that. And can you do that for me, Don?" Yes, Don, not super happy whenever they told him, "Hey, go and write me some taglines."
25 taglines, and it was that eager guy next to him, like, yeah, having fun. Don's like,
The guy's like, "Oh, just 25? All right."
He was 10 seconds into his fucking office until he spiked whatever it was against his window. He was not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Don just doesn't really feel like he wants anybody to be his boss, so he's in his feelings about that.
Especially not his former secretary.
No. Oh yeah, Roger also hears that son-in-law went to jail trying to get his wife back, so he's like, okay, I guess we got to go down there and get her. Like, we got to be dealing with all this bullshit. They're driving down there. John. Oh, Don gets in a conversation about that's what this was. Don gets in a conversation with the guy that's building the computer, and he's asking some advertising questions, and Don, former partner, or guess still partner, but not that important anymore. It's like, you know what? We should be talking to this guy. We got to be doing his advertising. So he goes up to Bert, being like, "Hey, I think we gotta get with this guy." And then Bert is like, "The fuck are you doing, man? Like, we told you not to talk to clients. You're here talking to clients." And Don is like, "Well, man, I'm just going down here writing taglines. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing here?" And then Bert's like, "What are you doing here?" So Don then realizes that okay, like they're not gonna let I'm writing taglines. They're not really gonna let me work. Let me just go into Roger's office and steal this bottle of vodka, and let's just get into it. And pulls the the day drinkers kind of a big thing of pouring your vodka into a Coke can and disguising it that way. Oh yeah, they're at the commune, and the Mona gets frustrated. She leaves. Roger stays with her, and stays with her like the morning. She doesn't want to go. Calls him a bad father, and then he takes off. So his daughter stays at the commune. I'm just gonna end it with that. This is good enough. We got to it. Then Freddie goes and picks up drunk Don at the office, and then he goes in on the IBM guy, and the IBM guy is almost knocked out from the vodka fumes coming off from Don's breath. Peggy then.
Sorry, one of the best part is when he went in that office and was like, I forgot something in the office. When? Like, just knows it. Full of shit. Thanks a lot. I found what I need. He just starts hammering it. I was like, she knew it was bullshit. She's like, I forgot something. Man, like, you haven't been here. What are you talking about? So funny. But yeah, he's shit faced.
A little bit.
I mean, he wanted to go watch the Mets. Like, who really wants to go to a Met game? Were the Mets good in the '60s?
I don't know about that.
I mean, the Mets were never good. Whatever. They didn't have Darryl Strawberry. So Peggy then goes and tells Joan about the grievances about Don and how she can't get him to work. And then Joan was like, "Well, they set rules for Don. He could be breaking the rules. Like, is he breaking the rules?" And Peggy's like, I don't know. So
fucking rules.
So she was a little bit like that, and she was angry about the partners putting her in that situation. And then then we get into the next morning because Freddie just took Don home. They unfortunately did not go to the Met game, and Freddie was like, "Hey, you could be like me, who just going from office to office, job to job, doing whatever, or you can just like strap it up and just kind of not fail. You can do that. And I guess of all things, a pep talk from Freddie was all that Don needed because he goes into work, sits at his typewriter. Peggy walks into his office, ready to get at him, and then he's like, "All right, boss, I'll have your 25 taglines by lunch." And Peggy was like, "All right," and just leaves him to it. And yeah, that is the end of the monolith.
Just to help you out, season 7 of this takes place in 1969 into 1970. The Mets win the World Series in 1969. So they were terrible. They became a team in 62. So it's called the Miracle Season. So yeah, a lot of people are going to see the Mets.
Good job, Freddie. You guys missed a great game, I'm sure.
What a smart guy, by the way. What a smart friend to take him, thinks he's going somewhere and just takes him to his house and let him pass out and detox in his own house instead of takes him out in public. That's a friend you need.
If there's anyone that knows how to handle someone in that situation, it's Freddie.
Good episode. Good episode. Peggy's a bitch. Let's just be real honest. You don't do that. You know not to do that to Don. Why do it to Don?
Why are we turning on Peggy?
Why are you blaming Peggy?
I'm not turning Peggy. But let's also say that what's his nuts? Lou, who's the leader?
Yeah.
Lou's a cop.
Lou and Jim or whatever.
Lou is an asshole, and I don't like him. And he said something in the next episode that just pissed me. Maybe it pissed me off so bad. He's gonna get bad guy the vote probably from me just for that line. Dickhole, just a dickhole.
Oh goodness. Yeah,
the computer thing though is next level. And the next, I think it's next level.
I mean, honestly, I think I'm going to nominate the computer for Bad Guy of the Week, but
that's a good question.
Listen, we'll get into it. I don't think the computer is responsible for what we're led to computers responsible.
But we don't know. Don was on to that computer guy. He even said he sees him. So, but yeah, this was a fun episode. It was good to get Don back in the office and kind of see that. He wasn't going to put up with this, but then Freddie was able to kind of save the day, talk some sense into him, and now we'll see how Don can do it when he's going to go and kind of give it his all. And yeah, I don't think there's really a whole ton else going on. Yeah, fun.
Not really. We spent a lot. I mean, we spent about 15 minutes over in hippie land with Roger.
Oh man!
And they figured it out.
Me. They loved me. Blah, blah, blah. Roger gonna have a little bit too much of that after he played your game for a little bit. He's done with it now.
I mean, I've seen. I mean, he's done like what? How many times has he done LSD? I think he bumped up to like 5. He could have been there for a little while.
I mean, the only difference between
they don't have good LSD there.
The only difference between him and his daughter were he chose to do it in a nice apartment and nice like hotel. She decided to smell like shit while doing it. Whichever one, but like his daughter daughter like father. I don't know what to tell you. They both started this season freaking like they're just like going to communes.
Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead. Go in the Runaways, episode 5. Yeah,
which would have been a better episode for the first.
Oh, did they just
runs away? She runs away in the first episode. Whatever.
I think they just.
Oh, I mean, I guess the other one makes sense too.
I don't know. I think. They messed it up. It should have been the last one. We see Stan. He's at the copier, and he finds like an interesting thing from Lou. Apparently, like some comic strip named Scout's Honor that I guess Lou is, illustrating and drawing. He gets a kick out of it. Thought, oh, this is maybe funny. But then, I see Ginsburg, yelling at the computer, saying, I forgot who he was saying, but he's acting crazy around the computer. He thinks he's hearing it's humming, and like he thinks like the
definitely got a humming.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know why you're excited to be in the computer, shit like that. Dawn then gets a call from Stephanie, a blast from the past there. She is now pregnant. and she needs some help.
Mazel
She
tov.
says, "Hey, you think you can help me out?" He's like, I think I got somebody to see. Why don't you go and see Megan? Tells Megan, "Hey, Stephanie is gonna come over. Why don't you, just kind of make her feel at home, and I'm gonna be there later tonight." She's like, "All right, do that." We then hear more talk about this cartoon, and kind of everybody's like really getting into the spirit, joking about Lou's dumb Scouts Honor cartoon. When right before a meeting, uh, Stan and Mathis go to take a piss, start joking about cartoon, and guess who's taking a dump over in that toilet? Good old Lou walks out, and they realize, god damn it! We go right into the meeting, and of course, Lou just can't hold it in anymore. He's like, "Huh, you guys gonna make fun of me for this shit? Huh? Like, you know how much money like these cartoons make? Like how much respect you get?" Then says the I had to pause this when he's like, do you know do you know who else had a ridiculous dream and people laughed at him? And then Stan went, "You." So Lou is definitely pissed off at everybody here because he's feeling embarrassed about his old cartoon thing. He says, "You know what? We're gonna reschedule this meeting for about midnight tonight. So you guys just kind of strap in, and we'll I'll tell you when we're ready to call." So everybody's upset there. Oh yeah, and then there's this whole. I think I'll just get this out of the way. It's an old side plot with Betty embarrassing Henry, political friends. Henry supporting the president. She's talking about the war. He didn't like it. They just get mad at each other for the whole episode, just arguing.
How far have they fallen? Like Jesus Christ! Like I forget they're even in the show anymore. Like, I'm just like, what? Isn't this when she comes home too, or is this after when Sally comes home?
Yeah, it's pretty soon there.
Yeah, that comes in. I'll get to that. I mean,
Okay.
It's just like I feel like at least Henry doesn't cheat on her, and like that's kind of it. That's the story. This feels like the same, except he doesn't cheat on her.
And doesn't have a box of stuff that's not.
Oh yeah, he also doesn't. He's not lying about his identity. Yeah, I forgot. Like, oh yeah, look at that. Look, I had it this year. Yeah, it looks like Sally got in trouble. She got hit in the face. Didn't quite break her nose. So she didn't quite need a nose job. And of course, Betty gets upset and says, "Hey, why don't I break your arm next time?"
I gave you that nose.
It's like that is Sally's all-time favorite pastime. They're just making Betty yell at her. Oh yeah, and then we also see that she has a nice big sister moment with Bobby because Bobby thinks they're going to get a divorce, and like, yeah, they're not getting a divorce. Like, it's fine.
They're miserable together. They're the bad guys together. Oh, but when she sits there and goes, "Oh no, my perfect nose. What will I ever do?" God, Sally's got a pair of balls on her size of Texas. She's like, "Fuck you, Betty. What are you gonna do?" Oh,
like I've seen the worst you can do, and I can take it.
Oh. Then go in there. Yeah, Don tries to show Lou his work, and he's like, "Hey, I got somewhere to be." And then Lou is like, "Yeah, I don't give a shit. And why don't you, go bang up these lines or whatever, and like I'll see you in another couple hours or so." So yeah. And then Don tries to also give him advice about the cartoon, but Lou is like, "I don't want any fucking advice from you. You just keep
you know what, Lou? Fuck yourself, okay? Fuck yourself." Saying that line is like, I will not be taking leadership advice from Don Draper. Listen here, bitch. You're an old fuck that barely is doing his job correctly. Everybody hates you. Everybody hates
Everyone knows Don is a great boss. Yeah.
Yeah. The only person he ever yelled at was Betty. No one else, everybody else just did their own shit. But you're an asshole. And I hate you. Like, I absolutely hate you, Lou. Fucking grandpa. Old bitch. So mad. Go ahead, Mark. Defend him. Defend Lou.
I'm not. I would not do any such thing. I just think it's really funny. We get into this last season, which I feel like the hate would have gone on to one character, And I just find it funny that Lou is the guy. Like Lou is the guy that we
Listen,
shouldn't because he is an asshole. But
I will criticize Don Draper all you want. Like, I gave him Bad Guy of the Week for 4 straight weeks. I think he's a horrible human being. But Lou, you're not going to come in the last fucking season of the show.
Don's our
boss-
scumbag. You can't
boss
say
around the
that
characters
about
that have been here the whole time. Like, fuck off. Like, I think Betty's a piece of shit, but if somebody came in and started yelling, no, I'd probably be okay with Betty at this point being yelled at. But
I mean, Henry yelled at her a little bit, so
somebody can yell at Pete all they want. You know, you don't yell at Don.
Pete's been pretty good to this season so far. He's been doing good out there in California.
He's got this hot blonde with him, and he doesn't even know. Like, he's still trying to double dip his pickle in other things. I hate him too. Oh, still waiting. We're in season 7. I can't wait till the season finale when he fucking finds the cure for cancer. Like, something's got to happen for him to redeem himself at this point. God, he sucks.
all right, and yeah, like Megan is they're taking care of Stephanie, makes her a steak and talking about Don and the past or whatever, and then Megan is like, "Hey, I don't think it's probably the best thing. Don's gonna want to get involved in all this, and like, I don't think you want that. Why don't I just write you a check for $1,000 and you can just get out of here?" And then Stephanie is like, "Well, I guess if that's what you think is best, I guess we can do that." So Megan just wants Stephanie to get the hell out of there. Of course, Don stays at the office until Lou is like just decides to just to peace out. I think you can see it on Monday. He shows up, and of course, like he is a bit upset when Stephanie is no longer there. He's like, "Hey, why don't you keep her here?" He's like, "I don't know. I tried. And I don't know what you want from me." So Don is not super happy about that. Then we get into Ginsburg. Ginsburg is doing a little late night, or not late. He's doing some Saturday working, and like he just can't deal with the hum of this computer. Can't it's just bugging him, and and he ends up going to check on it, and he sees like some weird secret meeting with Jim and Lou, who I think he thinks like they're doing some bidding for the computer. Like Ginsburg is just losing it right now. Like he I don't know what's going on. He then shows up at Peggy's place. He's like, "I can't deal with this computer. It's getting inside my brain. Can I work here?" And then that's also the time when Julio shows up, wants to watch TV, and Ginsburg is like, "Who the hell are you? Like, what's going on here?" It's like,
didn't he say that the computer was like turning them into homosexuals or something like that?
They'd be in a room together. Why would they be in the they're having a secret? They're gays. They're homos. And then he looks at the kid and goes, and then he looks at the kid. "Who are you?" "Live upstairs." "Can I work here? I can't work in the office. I can't do it."
Listen, Ginsburg is saying a lot of crazy shit. Okay, like just
because of the computer. Yeah, we get it.
Betty's also living a weird fucking life. The kid just comes in her house and chills and watches TV with her. Like, what are we doing, Betty? On a Saturday? Betty, you're living like the worst life.
I mean
Peggy's a super, so
I can believe. You know what? Like he goes to complain all the time, and you know what? To make up for it, he just shows up and watches TV. She definitely has to have a better TV than that kid's mom. 100% has to have the best TV in the building.
It might be my favorite episode. My favorite line in the entire season is, "My mom told me to yell at you because you don't understand." Next level.
Oh yeah, more crazy Ginsburg stuff. Yeah, he's becoming more erratic, and he tells Peggy like, "Hey, we got to fight the computer, so we got to reproduce. All right, so let's have sex." So he tries to have sex with Peggy, and Peggy's like, "Yeah, I don't want to do that. You can get the hell out of here." See your work where you're not crazy.
And then what does he say? He's like, "Don't we don't have to tell anybody about it." Yeah, I'm planning on not saying a word about this.
All right, yeah. Okay, let's go real quick. Megan has a party for California friends, and she does like some weird dance of a guy. Kind of makes Don seem a little bit uncomfortable. Like I saw a guy who was all jacked and shit. Don ends up seeing Harry. Harry shows up at a party with like some actress person that he's trying to bang, or I'm assuming so. Like I can't read Harry's mind, but I just think so. They end up going out and having a drink because Don doesn't want to stay at the party, and Harry ends up telling him, "Hey, Jim and Lou are going after Commander Cigarettes," and that their plan basically is like they can land it, and if they can, you're probably on your way out because they can't have you work for another cigarette company after what you did. And so Don is like, "Holy shit, I gotta probably do something about that." He then returns to Megan's apartment, to where he just gets everything. I don't know what to tell you. Like it just I forgot this happened, and I gotta tell you, I was just angry the whole time because he
I
shows
mean,
up.
he looks just like John Hamm, so
Yeah, he shows up and he gets and like Megan and her friend proposition a threesome, and of course Don is like, well, I guess if you want to, honey, I guess
I mean,
we
I
can
was
have
kind
a
of
threesome.
tired, but I guess if you guys want to.
It always helps when you got a hammer like John Hamm. That's been well documented in the press. Like,
But
man is packing.
which is crazy because he's clearly angry at her for letting Stephanie leave. But he's like, well, I guess the threesome, I guess, kind of makes up for that.
Not all of him was angry with her.
He was a little on the fence, and then she put something somewhere and was able to persuade him into feeling not so upset about it.
Yes. Yeah, so that was a section of the show where it becomes a softcore porn for a little bit.
That's true.
We then skip to the morning. That's when Stephanie does call back the house, and Dawn gets to talk to her for a little bit and says, "Hey, if you need help, just give me a call. You have my number." And then after that, he goes and tells Megan, "It's like, hey, I got to go back. Harry told me some stuff that I got to go take care of, so I'm gonna go take a shower, and I'm gonna plane and get out of here." And then Megan is upset because I guess she thought the threesome would have turned around her marriage, and I guess it didn't. I don't know. I would have thought that would
I
work.
force them next time.
We then get into Monday morning, where Ginsburg seemingly back to normal. He's like, "Hey, I think I don't know what happened to me. I had a lot built up stuff, but I was able to to get it out. And but I also realize I have feelings for you, and I have something to show you, the way to present to you that I have feelings for you." And it looks like he gave Peggy a gift. She opens up the box, and it turns out to be his severed nipple that he cut off from his chest. Says, "You know what? It's now flowing out of me. I feel good, and also this is this is just for you for helping me out." And then Peggy is like, "Huh, that's something. Can you just wait here a moment?" She then, of course, calls the authorities to then strap him up and send him over to the loony bin because Ginsburg is just fucking lost it. I'll just go ahead and say this is the last time we see Ginsburg. This is the end of Ginsburg's story.
Because of that evil computer. Yeah.
And then go back over to Don. Like he ends up figuring out where Lou and Jim were talking to Commander Cigarettes. And he is essentially makes his pitch to why he can stay. He's like, "Hey, I've worked on cigarettes for all this time." And then they're like, "Well, we don't abandon our friends. Okay, but how is it going to look to your friends? Like if you make me apologize?" Which then kind of gives him a little chuckle or like a smile as if, maybe Don helped them possibly win that account. They go out there. And then Jim, right before he's stepping into a cab, and he's like, "You think this is going to save you?" And then Don just slams the door in his face. And yeah, that is the end of the Runaways.
Wild.
Yeah, this is a great episode. I feel bad for Ginsburg. Ginsburg is the guy who's grown on me since he came on, and I knew this was coming. I didn't realize when it was going to be coming, but yeah, I feel bad for that poor guy. But technology, it has its cons. So but yeah, the rest of the stuff, yeah, yeah. I'm surprised there haven't been more people just cutting off nipples as technology has advanced through the years, but
I bet the number has went up, but I don't know
probably.
how much. But also, Do we know if they are homosexuals?
I mean, yeah.
And let me tell you, Peggy couldn't find a good guy for anything. Every good guy has something wrong with him, some baggage, some like this is also a woman that gave birth in season like 1, like a Pete's child. Continued on. Found Ted, was really happy with Ted. Ted got the banger, and then all of a sudden goes, "Hey, I'm going to California because I can't give up my family." Like, what? That's crazy. Like, and now all the guys like I think it's the what's his name? The one
Stan.
that Stan's probably the best author. And he talks
Yeah.
to her like he's a bro. Like,
Yeah.
I think Peggy's just gonna be watching TV with that kid for a real fucking long time at this point. But overall, good episode.
I do want to say one thing real quick, just because it is a thing that just kind of, even though I do realize something that's going to happen next week with one particular episode, I don't care, I'll say it. The whole Ginsburg thing honestly really does bother me. I think it might be the dumbest thing the show I think ever done. I've seen it several times now, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
No.
I don't like how they handle it. It annoys me. He was around for like 4+ years, and this is how we handle Ginsburg. We don't really give him. We kind of have him around for laughs, and then like, oh, his story is like, oh, he goes crazy and gives his nipple to Peggy, and like, and that's how he's gonna get the lead off here. Whatever. It's always a thing that's just bugged the hell out of me.
Yeah.
You really what did you want of Ginsburg? What do you want Ginsburg to do?
Just like keep working.
I think this is the thing that annoys me, especially like thinking of it the finale, because I feel like in the finale they kind of cover up pretty much every major character story about as well as any show I've ever seen. And then we get to Ginsburg, and like Ginsburg is like, oh, he just kind of goes crazy because they put in the computer one day. I was like, okay, like the fuck is that? Like, what is that? I don't know. I'm probably gonna get something, especially if what happens in episode 7. But is what it is. Not as bad as the Ginsburg thing. Anyway, let's go to episode 6. The strategy. We then see Peggy and Mathis are researching Burger Chef, trying to figure out their strategy to go there. Pete and Bonnie are taking a trip over to New York, and what do you know? Like people get lucky sexual situations all the way. Pete and Bonnie join the Mile High Club. Good for him. May meet up. Talk to what the fuck? The people meet up about Burger Chef, and they talk to like what the strategy is going to be. Peggy is going to lead, or Peggy's kind of talking about it. Pete asks for Don's opinion, and Don actually backs up Peggy. So Don is now learning to work with the team. Although Peggy is then later asked, "Hey, it would be better if you give the presentation, as if Don would give the presentation." And then Peggy is like, fuck you guys, but I guess we can do that. You guys outranked me on this one, so yeah, that's fine. She then goes and tells Don, hey, it was my idea. I think you should give the presentation. And Don is really pumped up about it. He thinks, all right, this is my time to get back, baby. Let's do it. Roger then has his own.
You're gonna speed past the part where Dawn just plants that seed of doubt into Peggy's brain about her pitch.
Well, I mean, like, like I feel like a lot of that's integrated later. He's just bringing up his own ideas.
What if we do it from the kid's point of view?
Oh, and that smirk. That smirk that he makes after he gets off the phone with her, like no seed of doubt, nothing at all. God, you're a real son of a bitch. You pick and choose so much on this show. It's so disrespectful.
Yeah, I feel like I was gonna bring it up, but whatever. Yeah, like I wouldn't bring it up fast enough, I guess. I don't know. Like, anyways, fuck, I lost my. Yeah, there's something about Roger. He runs into Jim Hobart. Yeah, he runs into Jim Hobart at a steam room, somewhat homoerotic. But and he says like, "Hey, it's like, I heard you guys got a car. How do you feel like, if kind of almost floated like a buyout type of idea?" And Roger thinks it's a joke, and he's like, I'm like, just kind of leave him there. Bob then brings over the Chevy guys in for a visit. They're going to talk to everybody. Then later has to deal with kind of one of the one of the the gay things. A guy got arrested for solicitation, and then that's when he tells Bob that actually, hey, the Chevy is actually going to move their business down the road, and hey, you're going to get a job at Buick, so good on that. Although Bob does learn that unfortunately the agency is probably going to lose uh, their uh, their business. Also, was kind of a weird mention of like the audition was a success, and it's mentioned a couple times in the episode, and nobody really knows what that means.
Yeah, it says they might get some business down the line, so we'll see.
Uh, Pete then like has a less than stellar meeting with his daughter. She doesn't really recognize him, and he's there with the maid, and just kind of all like kind of weird stuff. Megan also surprises Don in New York, and you know what? It looks like they're doing okay. They're out there. They're on the balcony, loving each other. They got dinner. Things are looking like basically almost back to normal. Though in the middle of it, I guess yeah, from the seed of doubt that Don had given her, Peggy is now having doubts about the strategy. So then, like I don't know, like it now this thing seems to suck now. I don't really know why, but and she's kind of calling everybody. She's calling Stan after he's going out with some girl. Calls Don. It's like, hey, just tell me your new idea. And Don's like, I don't have an idea. It's like, yeah, you do. You got an idea. It's like, whatever. Goodbye, Peggy. So like she's just kind of spiraling after thinking that this idea is maybe not very good. Pete then spends the day with his daughter. Uh, but he comes back to the house to find Trudy still not there, and turns out he just kind of stays at the house until Trudy comes back, and he gets in a fight with her about possibly going out, and yeah, he ends up just kind of sticking a beer in a cake, out of frustration because just all in his head basically. And then what do you know? Pete and Bonnie get into a fight because they aren't spending time in New York, and he's kind of just doing some weird stuff. You're kind of a weird Pete episode, like you're all around. Don then finds Megan trying to pack up some of her stuff to L.A. and like kind of Don is like thinking, what the fuck is up with this shit? Thought we're doing okay, and she's almost using this place kind of a excuse to get more of her stuff over there. Don then goes into work, kind of trying to figure out what's going on with Peggy, and Peggy is like, I don't know, this idea kind of sucks, and like, all right, well, we can just stick with this idea. It's good. The clients like it, and I think, and it's also done. And then Peggy's like, come on, those are all bad things. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's like, all right, I guess we can just kind of start over on this. They, kind of have like a kind of a meeting together, kind of drinking, trying to bounce ideas off of each other, kind of going through what Don's process of what he says it is. We then go over to Bob. He spends the day with Joan and her family, and he gets gifts for everybody. And at the end of that night, he's like, "Hey, hey, Joan, this. I don't know if you like this whole single mother thing. Uh, how would you like it if you and me were to get married?" And then Joan's response to that is like, "Hey, you gay, bro." And Bob is like, "Whoa, we can make it happen." Like, it just makes sense. Like Chevy or Buick expects certain type of man to be one of their execs, and Joan is like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I want to love somebody. I'm not really into an arrangement, but it's okay, Bob. You just go ahead and do you." But yeah, that's not gonna happen. But yeah, also he does kind of break the news that they are going to lose Chevy, and unfortunately, that does send more of an emotional spiral, at least for Joan in the moment. Then go back to Peggy and Don trying to figure out their strategy. Peggy ends up coming up with this kind of like family type of strategy, like as they're thinking, although as she's kind of going through all of her regrets in life, unfortunately, kind of how she ended up there. But Dawn ends up talking her through it, and they end up having a dance. Kind of that whole time, kind of reinvigorated their relationship. Where now Dawn and Peggy are now in a much better place after years of turmoil. And we then go into work on Monday, and it is now official. They are going to lose Chevy. And Jim's answer to that is that, hey, we're going to lose Chevy. Why don't we put a article in the paper about about our new computer and our new partner, Harry Crane. And then everybody's like, hey, that guy kind of sucks. But and Jim is like, what? Like, Harry's earned it. And then Joan and Roger are like, nah, fuck that guy. But everybody else reluctantly votes him in. So now Harry's on his way to being a partner. And and then we get over Don, Peggy, and Pete as Peggy is talking about the strategy. And, they share a meal at Burger Chef, kind of mirroring the family or the family kind of thing of setting your table the family you choose over there at Burger Chef. And that's the end of the strategy. That's what it's called.
I will say that, after like 5 episodes of Pete being on good behavior, like right here, right when he did the Mile High Club, I was like, maybe Mark was right. Maybe Pete is like turning a corner. And then just the rest of this episode of him being in New York, just being a douchebag in the office, and to Trudy, and then to his girlfriend, I was like, oh, okay, he's still Pete. So that was nice. I was a little worried there for a second, but it was a good episode. I like that Peggy and Dawn finally kind of get back on the same page again. And I liked at the end there where it was Peggy and Dawn and Pete kind of in the restaurant. I was like, oh, okay, we got our guys back together again. So interesting to see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I kind of wanted it to end with them like in the office together. I think the end, I get why they were doing the end with them all together, but I think it was like a good ending. It felt like there was multiple ways this episode was going to end, and they just kept making another scene and another scene and another scene. Mm-hmm. So it was fine. I think it's overall a great episode. Do we know, like, is Megan and Don going to get divorced by the end of the series? I think the writing's on the wall.
Well, we were thinking that at the end of last season.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear, especially with her grabbing shit and going to somewhere else. So, like, taking more stuff.
I mean, wasn't like episode 2 or 3 where, like, they had sex, and then he said like, hey, I've actually been kind of fired from my job. What do you think about that? Like, wasn't that basically like the end of their relationship? And now
I've been fired from my job, but I gotta go back to New York anyway.
But then she's like, hey, I want you to come back, and I want you to do this, and I want you to do that. So it's just like this weird like back and forth. I don't really know what's happening with them. But yeah, it's an interesting. It's not a bad episode by any means. It's just I don't know, confusing a little bit. But we'll see. I think, like I've said this numerous times, other episodes need certain things to make it like flow for me. Mad Men just being Mad Men. So like it doesn't need blockbuster moments for me to like be interested. So yeah, I'm fully on board still. Just
it doesn't need shower shit or nothing like that, but
yeah, so definitely good. Definitely good. Good episode.
I mean, we can see if it fits, though. I mean, the shower shit can enhance anything.
Now we're gonna go to fucking Sopranos. Listen, I've heard for years. Everybody warned me about the Sopranos last season. I was like, maybe they're just being too critical. Maybe they just didn't they waited too long or something, like they expected too much. I'm kind of understanding now. We only got 2 episodes. So remember when? So show. Well, give me a second. Show opens up with Tony waking up. Paulie coming over to his house. And talking about some stuff happening at an old address. Old dad. FBI is digging stuff. It's where they basically they killed a guy down there and buried him underneath the thing. So they're digging through. So Tony's like, well, we're getting the fuck out of here. So we're going to disappear for a while. Telling Carmela to kind of like separate. God, let me tell you what's some of the worst thing ever is fucking Junior fucking Soprano. We spend so much goddamn time with dementia Soprano. Like I could give 2 shits less at this point.
This episode was like a live action Grandpa Simpson.
Oh, it's so bad. Like I almost wanted like I don't even know how to describe it. Like it felt so Grandpa Simpson. Like it was crazy. And I haven't watched a lot of Simpsons, but I can tell you it felt exactly what the stuff I've seen of that character. They're talking to him about getting him out of here, and the 2 guys are like, maybe a dentist appointment, maybe get you out of this way. And like, huh? What? So he gets confused on what they were talking about. He's like, "What's for lunch?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" You feel more attentive. Like he's clueless, but he's running a card game with the patients there. One of the orderlies is literally hooking them up with sodas and stuff. They're trading off buttons. He's telling jokes like the old time. Tony and them are driving, reminiscing. Overall, the game gets broken up. There's that one moment where the guy's like screaming and crying in the corner, and he's like, "Come on, we told you none of this. You can't do this stuff because of all this stuff." And then he's like, "He's not even playing." It's like, and he walks up to him and is like, "What happens when the man what did the man say when he was walking by the fish market? Hello, ladies." The guy just screaming. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh god!
But he ends up trading stories with this kid, Oz. Isn't that guy from Oz? Didn't he show up in Oz?
Yeah. That was like in the story with like the refugees or whatever. That was like, oh. Another like Oz jump the shark moment.
Yeah, he's telling the story. They didn't fucking think of it all. He's telling the story about the situation and everything about it, and then all of a sudden the guy comes in and goes, "Hey, they told me I could get my buttons back because we're not supposed to gamble." Like, get the fuck out of here. Well, can at least get the fuck out of here. Just crazy. And then the guy kind of like tells a story and like tells about his dad, and he starts screaming, like yelling at him. And Junior like was like, "Oh God, maybe I was just telling this or whatever. This guy's got fucking mental problems." That's fair. They want to stop for the night because they're getting sleepy. Paulie's like, "Hey, you want to stop by that place where we're gonna get some steaks and we can those women." Drinks and blah blah. Places change over the years overall because the guy's like, let's take wraps and sandwiches only. Oh shit! You can go to this place for nachos if you want. So they basically have a night. The kid that he's like mentoring, his mom is not pleased with him being mentoring him. Is what? What do you want? He's in a facility. Like, he's like, "Oh, you always wanted me to have friends. Now I
he's good, making friends.
You don't want me to have these friends." I'm so happy. Like certain players, people in this community have not linked me this Tony Soprano and his gambling addiction that he is having in this episode. Because I've been called a degenerate more than a couple times. Tony Soprano is in a legit but he ends up gets a call from Silvio basically telling him that he is they found a body, so great. So he's on high alert. Most timely thing that I've ever seen in this episode is the guy's writing a letter to Dick Cheney about an unforced gun error. He's like, it happened to me too. I about pissed my pants when he said that. The orderly is having him sign pictures of himself to sell it on eBay. They show up to that one guy. Tony and Paulie meet with the guy. I think the guy that got hit in the car driven into him by Richie in like season 3, and he checks on him. He's like pissing through it. He's like, I gotta go change my bag, and Paulie's like, you pissing in a bag, Tony? What the hell is crazy? Like, just straight like Costello moment.
Paulie's really getting on Tony's nerves in this episode.
Yeah, he brings him a Cleaver hat and he goes, what about the DVD? He goes, didn't think about that one. That's actually really good. Should have thought about the DVD. But didn't bring it to him. Tony is not pleased with Paulie. Paulie just keeps saying like too much shit, like that he's supposed to not be saying. But he just keeps talking shit. And Tony ends up walking away. He's like, the worst case is remember when, or whatever he said. Like, remember when is the worst form of communication. And he walks away, which Paulie kind of gets a glimpse of what's happening. Junior Sprinter kicks the shit of the professor, beats the shit out of him, basically. The orderly goes and talks to him, and he's wearing like a watch that Junior has given him. Certain situation. Basically, they've ordered to give medicine to Junior, and it makes him drowsy and pretty sleepy. Tony and Paulie meet with a guy about like tools and stuff, about selling it, another form of income that he can get. Tony talks to the guy. He's like, I'm really worried about Paulie. He just talks so much. What about when pressure gets put on him? Like, what? He's never been real pressured. That's how he's always been. Don't stress too much. Silvio calls Tony and tells him that the body under the thing, they're placing it on Johnny Sachs, right? Like,
I think so. Yeah,
somebody in the other, not Tony,
not him. Tony's in the clear. Yeah,
Tony's in the clear. So then Tony and Paulie are sitting outside. He's like, you know what we should do? We should go treat ourselves. We should go in the pool. Every time Junior goes to take his medicine, the guy is making a distraction outside to make sure he doesn't take his medicine. Paulie gets some flashbacks going on this boat because he's seeing. He's like, "What the fuck? What are we doing here?" And then they're sitting, they're chilling, they're eating, they're having a good time. Tony gets up, looks down at a big old knife, looks back at Paulie, looks like he's questioning something, ends up throwing him a soda, and they continue on. The Asian guy that's in this facility with Junior that's taking a liking to him, that he ends up taking his pills. He ends up starts taking his pill because I think this is the episode Junior has an accident, right?
Yeah.
He has an accident. He pisses himself. It's because of the medication. They told him he's not supposed to because the medicine's supposed to help with that. So he's like, well, it's either depends or take your medicine. So that pisses off the kid. He ends up beating the shit out of Junior. There's a flashback or a dream sequence where Paulie walks in and sees Pussy cooking. He's like, hey, if it ever happens to me, will I stand up? Wakes up. So he's got a flashback that he may be in. So he starts lifting weights and getting stronger. So if Tony comes in, we'll beat the fuck out of him. I don't know who the guy is, but the guy gets whacked outside of I think it's a part of the Carmine family. Like,
it was the guy. It was the guy that had ordered the hit on the guy from like the previous episode.
Yeah, they're down another member. Basically, they're talking about that. And then it ends with Junior in a cast and just staring off out in the thing, Shutter Island style. So, well,
This was an episode of The Sopranos.
it was great analysis.
Lin-Manuel Miranda shows up for like a second.
He does. Dude, I almost messaged Coho. I'm like, if I've never sold you on this before, here he is.
Yeah, I mean the Paulie and Tony stuff was kind of interesting. The Junior and his friends stuff, I think it would have been okay if maybe they didn't have as much of it. Maybe had like 2 or 3 scenes of it instead of half the episode.
It was 50-50 also on a trip that didn't matter.
Yeah.
Did you guys think that? Do you think there was a real consideration for Tony killing Paulie?
I don't.
Or do you think
I mean,
that was
he
just
was definitely getting annoyed at.
Do you think that was just set up by the director to make it think that way, or do you think the character Tony?
I think because he had the one conversation with the young guy when he's like, "Oh, Paulie's always been like that" and stuff like that. And I think because before that, I don't know.
I don't know. To be completely honest, I don't really know. The thing that I think is somewhat positive, I think, about the second half is how much on edge the show has been putting Tony on.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just beginning had to deal with the gun charge. Now he had to deal with a possible murder charge, ends up getting skirted on because they put on a dead guy, and all that, and pretty much all that since he's been shot. He's been acting more erratically, a little bit more paranoid, and just kind of being a little bit more random. And Paulie's always kind of pissed him off, in one way or another. It just, I could have seen, especially Tony also has a bit of a history of just killing off people that just kind of annoy him in the moment. So it just, I could have seen this happen. I could, and just because I don't think he likes Paulie as much as he says he does.
And he kept asking him too, you were the one that told Johnny Sachs about the joke, right? So and Paulie kept denying it. Do you think that if Paulie would have been like, yeah, that was me, I told him about the joke, do you think that'd be more or less likely that Tony would have probably maybe killed him?
I think he wanted to believe it was less. It would have definitely been more, though. 100%. He'd be like, "Oh, you're the fucking reason all this." That's all the bad, because then all the bad New York stuff is basically Paulie's fault now.
Mm-hmm.
You're muted. I think you're still talking.
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Yeah. That part was so funny when he was like, "Who do you think said that about the Johnny Sachs wife?" He's like, "Well, I supposed to know. What are you talking about? It wasn't me." And then how Tony just left that alone. He's like, "No." Okay. Next episode?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
I'm sure more stuff will happen.
Chasing it, which would be what they would probably try to classify me, but I am more successful the last 2 seasons of gambling than Tony Soprano. I want that on the record. Thank you so much. I'll leave it alone. Tony won. Arguably, I understand he's down because he borrowed $200,000. To hit a 1 in 36 on the roulette wheel for whatever you have. Get the fuck out of the casino. Run. But the mathematical odds to hit the same number twice? You're a psychopath.
I mean, you got to think that you're like a gambling god at that point, and nothing can hurt you.
He would have a better chance of taking it and just putting it on black or red and having a 50-50 odds and just keep repeating the process.
Mm-hmm.
I was disgusted with that game. I said, "Oh God!" So he's been chasing it.
It wasn't good strategy. You don't think so?
No. I didn't remember this was his kid when it was happening, but this little gothic demon child is in a graveyard breaking things and ends up running. No shock that they made it Vito's kid, so sure, that checks out. He was gay, so of course he has the most like.
He's had a rough go lately.
Yeah, so I was thinking, Vito's mom, Vito's wife comes and sits down and goes, Tony, you said you did anything you'd ever do to hell, blah, blah. I just need a fresh life. I need out of this. $400,000. Tony's like, oh, okay. I'll look into it. But you know what? Maybe I'll talk to the kid. Maybe I can help. Maybe we can do something.
He's like, what about your cousin?
Yeah. Who's my cousin? Oh, Paul. That's my cousin. It's not real. What are you talking about? But he said he'll look into it. But he goes and talks to Sylvia and goes, why the fuck is this my problem? Like, Paul's the one that did the shit. Like, I'm going to pay out the money. He's like, yeah, you know. He's like, he's my top earner. Like, and they took him. They're watching a football game where the guy fumbles and then ends up taking the ball, and he's like, I'll settle for a field goal. Ends up running into the end zone to break the spread. So just crazy, just absolutely crazy. So he keeps losing on every bet. Paul and Tony like have a conversation about the kid, like maybe he needs to go talk to him. Tony's kind of spitting in the face the guy he borrowed $200,000 for, not really paying him back, not giving him money, which he's battling. Him and his wife are overall like he's pretty upset with it because he's like, how do I say anything? Because he's the head of the family. Like, I just have to eat it. I just have to be okay with it not coming back to me. Jennifer and Tony go through the whole setup about him losing bets and chasing things and missing out on sessions, and like, I'm gonna have to set some ground rules. I'm gonna have to set some new rules on like what happens. And he's like, I always cancel on enough time. I get paid for the session still. Yeah, but we need to put a little change in that stuff. Carmela is selling her home, or their spec home or whatever. So that situation, the inspectors are coming to visit that. Paul visits with his demons, the demon child, sitting across from him drinking milkshake, and like, you look like a Puerto Rican. Like, just starts ripping him apart. Just like, you're an embarrassment, don't you know that? You're embarrassing your mother. Like, you should just like, you wanted me to smack you? Like, I can smack the thing that he's like, finish up because I ain't taking you in the car. They're celebrating the selling of the thing. It's raining outside. Carmela calls his dad and goes, what's the house like? What is the thing? Oh, I built enough. It's fine. Like, stop worrying about it. The guy comes up, Bart gave him the $2,000. He's like, oh, blah, blah. Like, oh, big guy. Oh, here's the money. He's like, threw him some money down the table. He's like, that'll cover me for a while. Get you off my back, right? Jesus Christ, Tony, $200,000, and you're still chasing like fucking money that you're never gonna get. He's still pissed off about it. Tony is still gambling, making bets on horse racing, everything. Nothing's going right for him. AJ proposes to his girlfriend, which I don't know if you've ever been in that shot and you propose to somebody. That is not the reaction you really want. The way. So that's funny. Sorry. It said Mark messaged me on Facebook, and I didn't realize we're in 70,000 group chats together. That's why he messaged. He didn't just message me individually. Tony visits with the gothic kid sitting across the table. He's like, hey, like, your dad was like, what, you butt buddies? Oh, you got jokes. Nice. And when the final where the straw is, he grabs him by the face. He goes, I'm not a social worker. Like, I will literally rough you up, kid. Tells him to start acting right. Tony and Carmela seem happy about the thing. Tony ends up stopping by unannounced to his house for the money. Tells his wife, I think it's his wife or his girlfriend, whatever the situation. Yeah. Tells her to go upstairs and lock the door. and he hands him some money. He reaches into his pocket, which there's the tens, and it's just money. And then Tony's like fucking being like, we're fucking telling him to come. We're coming with him. He doesn't want to come. Fucking giving him money is fucking disrespectful attitude. And the guy's like, yeah. And then talks about Vito, and he's like, yeah. He's like, he made twice as much as you fucking made on the fucking my construction business. Tony wakes up. By the way, despicable behavior by placing a sports bet and then not watching the game. I don't know if you hit or not. It's disgusting. Wakes up and reads a newspaper article to see what happened and what went. Motherfucker, we're in the 2000s. I know Sports Center is playing on fucking one. If you're getting your sports newspaper, you're but he's mad. Oh, I've been there a million times. If I just placed a little bit more on that, I would have made way more because I was right. And then Carmel's like, oh, fuck, like you won, like it's not that big a deal, like, and then he's like, and she just like brings up like Johnny Sacks, like had to move in with his sister, like you're gonna ruin all the money, you're gonna take everything. Oh yeah, well I hope you build that house and it's gonna crush down on that new fucking born baby. And there she takes this big fucking thing, launches at him, and when I die, I'm gonna make you live in a fucking shack. All with me. So basically, has a whole heated moment with her. Then the fucking kid that just talked to Tony comes into the shower. They call him gay. They call him that he's a woman, and then he takes a massive shit and steps in it in the shower.
See, I thought he was going to do like pick it up and throw it at him or something.
That's what I think. One of the most awful visuals. It looks so real. I about hurled. AJ's girlfriend is giving the ring back. Not going to happen. Tony calls the mom and says, "Hey, I got these people in Idaho that will take the kid to some camps. I think it'll be good for him." Oh no, I heard they can use colorful punch. Yeah, that's just when they get a line. It'll be $18,000. I'll cover it. Way cheaper than $400,000. So sounds like a steal. Tony and they end up waking the kid up, taking him out of the house, and sending him off. Carmela and Tony basically apologize to each other about the situation. That he's out of line. The sports betting's gotten the worst of him. The guy that lended Tony money, his wife is dead. She's dead. Visits and drops off the.
I think he does the remainder. Yeah.
Yeah. But looks very like leaving the house. Like, I don't know foul play or anything. I don't think it's ever described, but it seems so fucking weird. I don't know what he hit or whatever, but he like drops out the money and just walks out calmly out of the house. So that's the last episode.
I mean, do you think the writers knew that there's only 5 episodes left? Because it's just I liked it better than the last episode. It's had more stuff going on that I thought was interesting. I mean, the stuff with the kid going back and forth, the stuff. Would you rather owe Tony Soprano money, or would you rather Tony owe you money? Because neither of them seem like good options.
No, it seems like you'd rather Tony owe you money.
Because Tony's pretty nice to the Robert Patrick when he owes him all that money. He's like, I'm going to fuck over your life and stuff, but I'll be nice to you about it. But he's such a dick to this guy as he owes him this money.
And, like, did they say why his wife died? I don't remember hearing it.
I don't think they said. No, it's just sometimes people die. But yeah.
In this world, I think somebody planted something or killed her, like stuck in her house. I don't know. It just felt fishy. And then they just drop off that money and just feel like, and just walk out like looking happy. Walking out happy just seems fucking weird. And like, what did you place your bet? Like, motherfucker, I'm a degenerate. What'd you bet on? Like, how much was the
maybe
spread?
He bet that this guy's wife was going to die. He had this long.
Maybe
bet.
That's the bet he made. Yeah, he betted he was live in the Vic. Vic just got his earnings.
Oh god.
I don't know. I like the headspace. I think I kind of like just like the headspace that Tony is in. I because I think this episode at least works for that reason. That he is just kind of going crazy, and we don't really understand like what it is, and also like how he's going crazy. While all of like the bad stuff that could hurt Tony is kind of slowly rising up. Like the New York stuff is like slowly becoming a problem again, but like he's not really noticing it because of like all this stuff. Like he's having like a little bit of trouble in the inside and he's not really noticing it. He's not really dealing with it kind of how he used to because it's just for whatever reason, probably because he got shot or whatever. Like I kind of like that we're getting into that. But yeah, as far as like, plot stuff, like yeah, this isn't like I mean, like we're not I'm not 100% sure what, at least this like the story they were going for here. What ultimately, we're trying to get to here, if we're getting to the hey, here's AJ in the obviously not working relationship and asking a woman to marry him. Like I don't know how the first time I watched that thinking almost being shocked that the girl did not want to be with AJ anymore. It's like, oh, how come she didn't want to be with AJ anymore?
And
Now
now he's got to get that tattoo covered up.
yeah.
That's the most AJ Soprano thing that's ever. Like I wasn't even shocked. I was like, dude, it took her this long to open up and wake up. Like that's crazy. He's like talking to a block of wood. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I mean, like I just thought this was meant to be. Like he just scared off some hoodlums with a bike and he ended up getting laid out of it. Like oh, they're gonna be together forever.
He should have took that as the win. I don't know. What's
yeah.
Okay. Bad guy of the week.
Bad guy of the week.
I think it's harder this week than normal.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a clear like bad guy this week.
I got it. Even though I disagree with emotions, I can definitely go with it. Who's the other guy on the strike team?
Ronnie.
Ronnie's back. He was just so okay with going. Had no issue whatsoever. He set up that entire thing to get him whacked, and Vic's the only reason that guy maybe got some tailwind.
So you're saying wanting Shane dead is bad guy behavior?
It's the only bad thing I can find right now. The computer, but that's not a bad guy. No, you can't because it's got to be an active. It's only been the episode twice.
I mean, none of us really like Lou this week either.
I mean, Lou sucks. Dude, Lou does suck.
I don't know. What do you think, Mark? Who's the bad guy this week?
I'm not sure we're gonna have consensus. Like I'm sort of leaning Jim Cutler, kind of, just because like he feels like he's been trying to do a lot of behind the scenes thing to try to get Don
He's doing
fired.
some puppet master stuff.
Yeah.
You talking about the guy that came over with
Ted? Yeah. You're
giving him to for. You think shit's like he's doing some underhanded things?
Well, he is definitely doing underhanded things. Like he helped bring in the computer, like kind of wasting their money on that. He tried to get the commander cigarettes like under Don's nose to try to force him out, and now he's trying to get Harry in as a partner to try to get another board vote like on his side. He is definitely trying to maneuver a way to get Don out of there.
I mean, nobody really seems to be wanting to keep Don there, so other than Pete and Roger.
Oh no, I got it. Dutch bad guy week for me. He literally just followed his instincts too far. Got a guy that was having a mental breakdown, but ended up making him kill himself. Yeah, he thinks he's too smart for the room, and it ended up costing somebody his life.
I don't know, but was that technically Billings' fault? Because like Dutch told Billings it's his fault.
Well, yeah, that's bad guy behavior.
That's
trying to put the blame
Dutch.
on somebody else.
Hey, by the way, when I do this shit, I need somebody to rein me in. Fucking what? Dumb. Bad guy. Poor guy. Made him. He already had some mental issues.
Claudette wouldn't have let me kill that guy.
Made him mental, and then just kept like pushing him closer, and he never.
And he's
did
been
it.
harassing that teenager for like 3 episodes.
Harassing teenager, breaking into their home.
Wait, okay, that teenager clearly going to be a serial killer. I think Dutch is
Oh,
clearly
don't
on
say
the
that.
right road there.
Don't say that. I was wrong when he choked the cat out. We thought he was, and he grabbed what's Vic's wife's name?
Corinne?
Corinne, yeah.
And like was aggressive in that moment, and it was like, oh, I have to check myself.
I mean, she's into aggressive guys, so he was just playing the part.
Bad guy. Bad guy.
I'll give it to you. Dutch did kind of help that guy kill himself, so
You think?
yeah, a little bit. So
You
I'll
killed
go
that
with
person. You did it. Didn't do it.
You know, actually, I'm gonna stick with Ronnie. We're just not gonna have consensus this week.
Yeah.
Why are you giving it to Ronnie?
Because I mean, Ronnie wanted to kill Shane.
You talked me out of that. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Don't listen to me.
Fucking asshole. Okay, that's the show. That's the show. Next week we're still 3-3-2. It'll be the last week of 3-3-2.
Wind it down.
The shield drops down to 2, joining me, and then Mad Men will continue on if we in 3 for one more week or whatever. We got 4 more episodes, so
yeah.
We're nearing the end. Will the Shield live up to it? Will the Sopranos disappoint? Will Mad Men do a time jump?
Pete's still got to redeem himself. He's got a few episodes left.
That fucking ship has sailed, brother.
He's got 8 more. 8 more.
Fucking Mother Teresa. He would have to fucking have sex with Mother Teresa or something. I don't know, but we will.
I don't think raping Mother Teresa is going to be like.
I never said. Whoa!
Well, yeah.
I said
we know how Pete is, so
that's so true. Well, you know, on that note, I can't top it. We'll be back. We'll be back next week. God forbid, maybe not. Can't.
Let's take it a little slower. Take a break.
I'm a different kind of cop.
I don't want to do your dirty work no more.